Very good morning to you, our viewers, wherever you are. This is the voice of reason. We welcome you to this show, and I am the host, Ian. A lot has happened throughout the week. We have seen most of the people. We have seen a lot of happenings throughout the week, and today we will be discussing some of the issues that have been raised. And maybe to start with, Ivy. We saw yesterday the ODM party were having their preliminary meeting yesterday at Machakos. And earlier this week, we had seen some ODM members. There was Jalas visiting State House, and we saw them being pushed away from the party. Maybe what is your take concerning that?
Thank you. First is to address the issue about Jalas. I think my take on that is there were 9 members of parliament who attended the meeting, but we can only see Felix Oduor, aka Jalas, being the only one who is being reprimanded by the group. And although his take yesterday, he said that he's still a faithful member of the ODM party, of the Azimio coalition, but still they have an issue with him for attending the meeting to Parliament at State House.
Yeah, maybe when you look at this, some sort of political rivalry, where we see the leader for UDA, the president, the current president, Mr. Ruto, whereby he is enticing members of the opposition to his party. Maybe, how do you consider this? Seeing of late, we have seen the ODM party leader Raila Odinga claiming that he does not recognize Ruto as the president-elect. Now we see his ODM members of parliament being invited to State House. Maybe what's your take on that?
Thank you very much, Dennis. What I can say about this kind of reaction, we all expected it. You don't expect your enemy to call someone from your group or party and expect them to do anything in this move. Of course, it was expected that Raila will definitely be upset or get mad because Felix Oduor went to meet His Excellency the President William Ruto without informing him first. But if he had called him, or maybe he went and met with him and explained to him what was about to happen, maybe Raila would not have reacted the way he did. Yeah.
Maybe Harrison, we've seen the nature of politics in our nation, whereby after one election, leaders try to look for, they prepare themselves for the coming election. Mm-hmm. And maybe is this a way of Mr. Ruto preparing himself for the next general election?
I wouldn't say so. I believe that him being the president, he has the authority to be able to serve every other Kenyan, considering those that elected him and those that did not. So I believe that he has the mandate to call any other person who is a leader in Kenya so that they will be able to sort out the issues that are going to affect the citizens at large. So I believe him calling Jalamo and all the other members of ODM was not a wrong call. But I think I'll support clearly on that immediately after they received the call, they had the mandate to be able to tell their leader that they've been called to the State House for a meeting so that at least they be aware. So I can attest that if I was Raila, I also would have said it here.
Maybe Regina, you see, Jalas was claiming that he had gone to State House for the purpose of raising development issues concerning his parliamentarians and his constituents. And he is saying he did not have to consult the party leader. In your own opinion, was it right for him to go and visit State House without consulting his party leader?
Well, as for me, it's not right because it seems as if it's just like you just do something. You know, this is a political party, and Jalamo being there, he's seen as an image for the opponent. So he just had to tell the opposition leader, like the party leader, I'm going to see the president to discuss issues concerning this and this. and maybe that wouldn't have bring this sort of issue to the country.
Wow. And you see, there has been a week of very many happenings, and some shouting, others are screaming hot air. But when you look at those instances, all those that are happening, it brings to you in mind a story about a time whereby in politics you have to be very wise and to be loyal to your party. And besides that, earlier this week we saw a saga happening to the former Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Okello Matiang'i, whereby it was supposedly that some officers had raided his home. Maybe to start with you, Ivy, do you think there is something going on, or was it just a drama that these people are staging? What is your take about that?
Okay, they say behind every rumor there is some truth. So they can't just present something. We have to believe the news at some point, since it's one of the medias. But our take on that, is it a political move, or did Matiang'i do something wrong? You can't just barge into my house without any reason, just come to my house and raid my house. So is it a political move? Is what Matiang'i did to Ruto during the time he was a deputy president, is it some sort of revenge that they are doing to him since he was the cabinet secretary for security? Or did Matiang'i really do something? Those are the questions we should really ask ourselves.
It's very interesting this particular time, and we saw the Director of Public Prosecution, Nudi Rahaji, and the Inspector General of Police claiming that there was no police that had been sent to Fred Matiang'i's home. Do you think, in your own opinion, maybe it's a drama they are staging because they are anticipating an arrest that's about to come?
Yes, at this stage, everyone is assuming a lot of things, either politically, financially, or whichever. So this might be something that has been staged just to confuse the citizens and just to make us see that the government is doing something, despite the kind of respect or authority you have in the government. Straight immediate actions shall be taken. Yeah.
That's very interesting, Harrison, and considering the fact that we've seen the president in many occasions saying that when Matiang'i was the CS for Interior, there were many extrajudicial killings. And he has been on record many times saying that his government will not practice whatever the other regime was doing, late night arrest, and maybe is it some sort of revenge, or what do you think about it?
Okay, it's always said that politics is a dirty game, and I believe this is one of the dirty games that is happening right now. What I'll say on that is that we might miss on the real doings that are happening just because there is a story that is coming up about Matiang'i. But definitely there is something else that is happening behind the Matiang'i story. So kuna kitu ambayo inapigwa kando, of which they are trying to hide it with what is happening with Matiang'i. So it's a dirty game and something that is happening.
Oh, wow. And Regina, both sides cannot be telling the truth. Either one side is telling the truth and the other one is not telling the truth. We've seen the allies of President Ruto claiming there were no police that had been sent, and we've seen on the other hand Raila Odinga claiming that some of the CS that were in the Uhuru regime, they are being targeted by this regime of Ruto. Maybe what is your take concerning this whole saga?
Well, I'll second Harrison because I can feel like there are a lot of things going on. But actually, even if Magoha did something wrong, they shouldn't have just raided at night. Because even if there's a warrant, like you must arrest this person, it's not supposed to be at night. Why at night? It's just like something actually. It has so many questions in there because you can't just raid my house at 10 and expect me to be like handcuffed and go to jail. No, for something I didn't do. You must come in the morning. Let's say when you postponing the arrest will cost what? It wasn't cost anything. So in my point of view, yeah, the police didn't do a good thing by raiding at night.
And maybe that's just that politics. But politics is something that you cannot predict. Each and every day things happen. Maybe aside from that, earlier last week we saw the death of Professor George Magoha, someone who has been very critical in the Ministry of Education, and we've seen people mourning, and you can remember very well that tomorrow is the day that he is going to be arrested. Maybe Ivy, do you think that Professor Magoha, there is any impact he has made in the Ministry of Education, and what are some of the things maybe he will be remembered for, having served in the Ministry of Education for the last maybe 10 years?
Magoha was a big personality, since I did my KCSE under his regime as a cabinet secretary. I think he did a lot of changes in the.
If the tax was to be paid, will President Ruto himself not exempt himself?
Maybe Ivy, as you finish, maybe what's your last words and what is your take?
My take on what we have discussed. We have discussed a lot, but one thing I want to address is about, go back to the last issue. I think what the Azimio Coalition should consider is what is the purpose of these people? Are they going there for their own financial gains, and do they want to back up the president maybe in 2027 so that they be like on the right side this time, because we can say they are on the wrong side? And or is it because of are they members of parliament who want to do good for their constituencies? That should be the big question. So my take on all this is, are we being motivated by politics after the elections? The elections were in August. We are now in a new year. Is still politics driving us, or are our leaders caring? Because we have other bigger issues. We have droughts. We have children who are not in school. We have bigger things that we should focus on. So that our CS, it comes as comedy to some people, our CS for foreign affairs, saying that we should send help to Turkey. It's not wrong, we should help. Lakini, why are we giving food to people when our own people are dying? I'm not trying to sound unfair, but we also have our own people. Should we consider others first, or consider ourselves? If we have the help, we can send the help. But let's first consider our place. Let's consider our homes. Our leaders should first take care of us. We chose them to take care of us and not taking care of other people.
To you, Lily, what are your parting shots?
We as the citizens, we should reduce assuming everything in terms of politics. We can see that the current situation here in Kenya, politics can confuse you. In the morning, they say this, in the evening, it's like this. During the day, things change. It's a bit confusing. You might not really understand what is happening behind the scenes, but what really is projected onto us is what we'll assume. So, yeah, that's what I can say.
And maybe Harrison, what are your parting shots?
And I think what I need for people to understand is that we do not know the day or the hour when our time on earth will come to an end. So it's a challenge to us that we may be able to do everything that we're doing in a way like you're serving God, for the purpose, not looking at how people are going to say or how people are going to perceive whatever we are doing. Let us do everything we are doing to the best as we're serving God, because we do not know the day, the hour. Go ahead and do it.
And to our viewers, thank you for watching us. And my parting shots, tulipe ushuru tujitegemee. I've been your host, Beya. This is the voice of reason. We will be bringing you this discussion and many more concerning everything that is happening. Stay tuned. See you next week.